So YouTube, it's been a little while since I've done one of my videos on one of my bikes anyway, so I thought I'd show you something a little new and different. So this is the 2023 Indian Pursuit. Now you may have seen some of my other videos, and I've got some beautiful Hondas. I've got the Honda State Line, I think one of the best cruisers out there actually. I've got the 750 Nighthawk I've done a review on, an old 650 Nighthawk that I had when I was much younger that I bought new in 1985. And we've got some dirt bikes, but what I didn't have was a big touring bike, and for the most part because I never really wanted a big touring bike. But then I saw a video on an Indian Challenger. Now the Challenger is very similar to this. It's basically the same bike, but doesn't have the bags, the passenger side, and there's a few electronic adjustments that are options that you can get on this Pursuit. So I saw that Challenger, and I saw some videos and people riding it and saying how sporty it was and how nice it was. And in 2022, they took that Challenger and added these things and made the Pursuit. And I really thought, what a nice bike. I've never really wanted the Goldwing, although I'm a Honda guy. I never really wanted the big Goldwing. I love my State Line. That's probably as big as I would go on a Honda. And I love the build of Harleys, but I never really wanted a Harley. Of course, I've always been fascinated by the Indians, the history of the Indian bike going way back. And then its reboot in 2014, I believe. And some of the great bikes that they're putting out. And I saw this Pursuit, and I saw the reviews talking about how sporty it is, how much fun it is to ride, the power, the balance on this bike. It's a heavy bike. It's a little over 900 pounds, but you just don't feel it. So I rode this thing and fell in love. This Indian Pursuit is really an awesome bike. I mean, you can ride two up, obviously, and you could tour and go a long way. It's very comfortable. But I'll tell you what, I ride this thing every day, in town, on small roads, you name it. And this is just comfortable. It's fast, it's powerful, it's nimble, it controls very easy, it's very well balanced. And I have to say, I just love the look of this bike. The badging on it is fantastic. It's just a work of art too, in my opinion, honestly. And I've been riding it. I've got about 650 miles on it now, and just really love this bike. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got it. Something I probably wouldn't have done certainly a few years ago, but I don't know, I saw it, thought I'd try it out, and now I'm really glad I have it. Now this Pursuit is a fun bike. It's also a touring bike, and like I said, it's heavy, but you don't really notice it once you're on it and you're balanced on this bike. It actually feels kind of light. It's kind of a sporty bike too. I mean, honestly, you can go into the turns pretty heavy on this, and it's well balanced and stable and gutsy. It has ABS, has Brembo brakes, ABS on it. It has traction control. It has a lot of the things I think that you would expect to see on a big touring bike like this. A lot of great options. Now there is one thing interesting, and any of you that have the Pursuit, you may already know this, or you may have heard about it. There is a slight issue on some of them with the Metzler tire, where I don't know if it was they haven't made a ton of these bikes, and I don't know if it was a bad batch of Metzler tires or what the issue was, but if you get to about 40 miles an hour on this bike and let go of the handlebars slightly just to test it out, you get a wobble, or some of them do. You can get a wobble. Now mine's not too bad. I've seen some videos where people have had some really bad wobbles and they've had to replace the tire and rebalance the wheel. Now in my case, I did test it out. I did find that I had a slight wobble, and what solved it for me was simply the air pressure. I overinflated the front tire. I did check my weights. There's electronic weight control you can do for the bags and stuff. I reset everything, overinflated the front tire, and voila, I don't have that wobble. I can kind of make it happen, which is kind of a stupid thing to do, and but just in testing it out to make sure I corrected the problem, I would try to make it happen a little bit, and I could get a tiny little bit of a wobble, but overall it's been taken care of. I don't get it at all just riding normal. And then I took my wife out yesterday and we went for a good distance, and I changed the settings to riding 2 up on this, and again, no problem with the wobble. So it is an issue that exists with that tire. There's ways to compensate for it like I did, or you can probably get them to replace the tire if it's bad enough for you. But other than that, no complaints. This is just an ideal machine. Really fun. If you're looking for a touring bike but you're not a big tour person, let's say, I mean, you can use it for going across country, whatever, by all means. But if you also want a nice big bike like this, but you want to be able to ride it around town or have a little sporty gutsiness in your big bike, I found that for me, this is it. This is it. This goes in the stable along with the State Line and the Nighthawks and the KLX and the Supermoto. This is a new addition to the stable that's going to stay there. Love this Indian bike. Now it has a lot of great electronics on it too. If you're into that, like I said, I've just got 600, little over 600 miles on it. It has this great ride command system that you can plug in your iPhone in here. There's a cable, and you can actually, if you have an iPhone, you can plug it in. You can get CarPlay. But even without that, is just great information. Like this ride screen here, it shows you how long, gives you all the information you need about the current ride that you're on. There's a lot of other screens too that give you a lot of great information. There's a area here too where you actually have rain, standard, and sport modes. It largely changes the precision of the throttle mostly. Let me go back there again. So if I put it in sport, the throttle is really, really snappy, and I like it. I like riding in sport. If I'm not riding 2 up, I'll be in sport all the time. And then the rain mode is really nice too, because it kind of settles you down a little bit. There's a little more play. You don't have that snappy throttle, which is good. Here you can ride, like I said, 1 up or 2 up. You can adjust the weight of the bags. This thing has heated grips, which I've tried out. They're fantastic. Heated seats as well. Just a really, really neat set of electronics they add on this bike as well. It has a great sound. It's not a Harley sound. It's an Indian sound. But I like it. You can hear this. That's that Indian whine you got going on there. But beautiful engine. Nice, powerful bike. So anyway, just a quick little overview. For you on this Indian Pursuit that I've added to the stable. Just doing this review really to tell you, if you're like me and you don't necessarily want a big touring bike, but at the same time they're kind of neat and comfortable, but you want to be able to buzz around town, I found that this Indian Pursuit does it all. Yeah, I can go screaming like a sport bike almost. I can tour with this thing. I can ride it around town. It's stable and light. It's just surprisingly to me a fantastic machine, and I'm really glad I got it. I'll do another review a little bit down the road, one to talk about duration, get over 1,000 miles or even more, and make sure I don't have any other issues like the wobble or anything like that, but also do one riding so I can give you a little update on its performance on the road. So that's it for now. This is the 2023 Indian Pursuit. Just a great bike we've added to the stable. See you, everybody.